It's not how you start, but it's how you finish. And the Broncos finished strong on Sunday, a 31-30 victory over the LA Chargers. Phil Milani here alongside Eric Dalala. Sidney Jones will be along in just a second here, but this was a crazy game. Seems like every Broncos-Chargers game ends just like this.
Yeah, Phil, this was fun, huh? The Broncos go down 21 points to the Los Angeles Chargers, and they storm all the way back. They score touchdowns on 4 of their final 5 drives to cap a 21-point comeback win. Phil, it's their biggest comeback since 2012 when they came back from 24 points, also against the Chargers.
Yeah, just 2 yards rushing in that first half. You would never have thought that there would have been an offensive eruption like this in the second half. Things were looking bleak for this Broncos team, but a few plays here or there really sparked the offense.
Yeah, Phil, it started with a 55-yard touchdown run from Philip Lindsay in the middle of the third quarter. That cut the lead to 14 points, and it made you think, hey, this thing's not quite over. From there, the Broncos defense was able to hold the Chargers to field goals when they needed to. And Drew Lock, Phil, after playing a really poor first half, people on Twitter were talking, do you put Brett Rippon in? Is it time to bench Drew Lock? He responded in a huge way, had a couple of touchdown passes, 3 actually, tying a career high, one to Albert O, one to Deshaun Hamilton for 40 yards, and then, of course, the game winner with no time left on the clock from the 1-yard line. He finds KJ Hamler. Phil, Lock, he showed up in a big way there in the fourth, and so a big win for the Broncos.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe in the first half, Locke just not in the flow of the game, really having a hard time even just getting a first down. I think the Broncos only had 2 first downs in that first half. But then when the game was on the line and he was just playing, reacting, playing like himself, he really looked like a different quarterback, Eric.
Yeah, he did, and he improved his quarterback rating. He made the plays you expect to see him make. Phil, the touchdown pass to Albert O was a tremendous pass. The second to last drive that they had, that really kind of helped them win because they only needed 2 plays to go 75 yards, found Deshaun Hamilton on a crossing route. And then just the awareness, to be able to draw a PI call on a 4th down and then be able to get the ball to KJ Hamler in the end zone. It felt, Phil, like maybe that's a turning point. You don't want to put too much emphasis on one thing, but this was a big game for Drew Lock, and he stepped up when it matters. Hopefully they can string some of this together now, but clearly a big moment for him and for this team.
And maybe this was the kind of game that is a turning point for the season for the Broncos, a kind of a win that unifies this team, and maybe they go on a run here. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, though. The Broncos down 24-3 in the third quarter. Eric, you mentioned it. Philip Lindsay, signs of life for this Broncos offense, a 55-yard touchdown, his first of the season. Later in the third, though, after a Drew Lock interception, the Chargers threatening, and Bryce Callahan saves the day, his second interception of the season. And on the ensuing possession, Lock finds Albert Okwuegbunam in the back of the end zone, his first career touchdown. It's 24-17 in the fourth. After a Chargers field goal, Lock finds Deshaun Hamilton over the middle, 40-yard touchdown, just his 8th catch of the season, but it was a big one. The Chargers added a field goal, so the Broncos down 6 need a touchdown, and it all came down to this final play. Lock scrambling and finds KJ Hamler, his first career touchdown in the NFL.
All right, we're checking in with KJ Hamler after an absolutely insane comeback by the Broncos to beat the Chargers 31-30. First win at home for you guys this season, and one heck of a way to be a division rival. First off, KJ, how are you feeling? How hype was it in the locker room after the game?
It was, I'm feeling, I just can't thank, just got to thank God for that one. He gave us the strength and the power just to, go out there and still fight and compete, just being down 3-24 at half, that's, from coming back from that, a lot of teams don't do that. That's very hard to do. So, just still trying to catch my breath a little bit because I'm still tired, but, just amazing how we fought as a team. Everybody did their part and, we came out with a dub.
Yeah, you said it. You guys were down by 21 points in the third quarter, and then Philip Lindsay had that 55-yard touchdown, and the momentum really shifted after that. What kind of clicked for you guys on offense there?
That, I think that what clicked was just, we got a lot of time left. we got a lot of time and we can make a lot of plays. There's a lot of more game left. We didn't want to just I don't think nobody wants to just give up at that time. And I think this is what we're all here to do. This is what the Broncos drafted us to do. To make plays and come out tough situations. Like I said, I think this is how legends are made. When tough times come, you got to step up to the plate. And for us being a young group, I don't think that's an excuse. I think we got all the talent in this room to compete with anybody in the league. So, I'm proud of everybody. Very happy for everybody. And it was just amazing how we fought.
Well, I know Broncos country is definitely proud of you guys. KJ, let's talk about that game-winning touchdown you had. Your first NFL touchdown overall in one heck of a first career touchdown. What was going through your head in that moment?
To be honest, just make sure I secure the ball. That was the main thing, just make sure I secure the ball. And then I looked at the ref and I seen his hands go up. And I'm like, oh man, all I could do is just smile, and I was just getting tackled by all the guys. It was an amazing moment. Coach called great plays, coming out the second half, driving the ball a lot, and just we fought. I think that's what is gonna make us, gain more momentum as we, play these next few games that we have. So, just got to build from there.
Yeah. What does this win mean for you guys and for this season? How does you take this momentum and kind of turn the season around from here on?
Yeah, I think it just shows us how much we're capable of, just like how we stuck together and, how as a family, we kept each other uplifted. And, that's a big thing. That's a big part of a team that you need. You need that, that brotherhood, that bond. And, I think that we have that. And, I think that was the main reason we came out with a win today.
Yep, I agree. Thanks so much, KJ, for your time, and congrats on the win.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Sydney. Eric, where do you think the Broncos go from here? Could this be a win that turns things around for this team?
Well, you hope so. You now go on the road to play an Atlanta Falcons team that has struggled at times this season. I believe just 2 wins for them. So a chance to get back to 4-4 here, still be right in the wild card hunt. Obviously, a loss tonight would have been somewhat disastrous to the playoff hopes. So just the fact they were able to come back from that 21-point deficit means a great deal. But Phil, I think more than just where they stand from a record standpoint, you hope that the offense can take some of this momentum. You got a bunch of points there in the fourth quarter. I believe 21 scored just in that period alone. Maybe you can take some of that momentum, build on what you were able to do in the passing game. And then, of course, Melvin Gordon and Philip Lindsay, they didn't get a lot going on the ground necessarily, but Gordon helped in the passing game. Philip Lindsay made some plays when he could. Take some of this momentum, Phil. See if you can find some consistency and continue to build. And maybe we look up in a few weeks and we look at this, like you mentioned earlier, as a turning point in the season.
Yeah, they're not going to beat very many good teams playing offense the way that they did in that first half. And then on the defensive side of the ball, it wasn't perfect either. You could tell this Broncos team was missing a guy like Mike Purcell because gave up more than 200 yards on the ground.
Yeah, the rushing defense was a problem, and they're going to need to figure out how to fix that. And, there were times when a guy like Keenan Allen kind of showed up the Broncos secondary. They're going to need to figure out what's going on with A.J. Boye. But, Phil, I just think the fact that when they needed to, they held this team to field goals. That Bryce Callahan interception that we showed a few minutes ago, that was very key because it prevented the Chargers from kind of pushing that lead back to where it was. The defense made plays when they needed to. Bradley Chubb adds another sack and continues to have the type of presence you want to see. So, Phil, a little more consistency, I think, is something we want to see in all areas of the game. But when they're rolling, when they put things together, they show they can be a team that can compete and can win games.
Some mile-high magic on this Sunday, though. Just enough. The Broncos get the victory over their AFC West division foe. 31-30, the final. The Broncos improve to 3-4 on the season. That's going to do it for our Broncos postgame show. For Sidney Jones and Eric Dalala, I'm Phil Milano.